It was good, YouTube. It's your boy Marvin's bitch. Just checking in one time, man. I haven't made a vlog in a little minute. So I'm about to go ahead and help cover some stuff for the day. And if anybody want to take a ride, man, let's go. We're gonna have us a little discussion, you know. It's an age-old discussion. It's probably been done 100 times over, all right. But I've never really gave my spill into it, and I never really, you know, seen anybody kind of break it down the way I look at it. All right. So, say you worked hard, right? You worked hard. You did what you had to do. You paid off whatever you had to pay off. You're debt free. You got money saved up, and now you're in a position where you want to buy a truck. All right. You're dead set on being an owner operator, and you want to buy a truck. Okay. The question comes up where what kind of truck you want to buy. Okay. And when you ask that question, what kind of truck you want to buy, it comes up on how much money you're going to spend. Okay? So you can sit there and be the guy that buys the older truck. You can sit there and be the guy that buys a slightly used truck. Or you can be the guy that sit there and buy a brand new truck, right? So when these three aspects of it, you're looking at 100,000 to 150,000. Then you got 90,000 and 70,000, 60,000 to 40,000, 40,000 to 20,000. Then you got 20,000 and under, right? All right. So, in my opinion, this is my opinion. All right, this is my opinion. When you get in a position where you want to buy a truck, I don't feel like it's a good business decision to buy a brand new truck. It's not smart, okay? It's not smart to drop 100,000, 120,000, 130,000, 150,000 into a truck, okay? It don't matter. I'm talking about cash now. We ain't talking about no finance. We're talking about strictly cashing out on the bitch. You know what I'm saying? All right. This is why I say that, all right? When you sit there and tell somebody that, why you tell me buying a brand new truck cash is a bad decision? You know, I get warranties, I get all this other stuff, I get a brand new truck with no miles on it, I get all this stuff, right? Cool, you get all that stuff, all right? But you just dropped $100,000 or more into your business, okay? You just invested $100,000, okay? We're not even going to include insurance. We're not going to include IFTA. We're not going to include whatever type of tool that you need to put in the truck. We're just going to talk about the price of the truck, all right? So, just say you drop $100,000 on the truck, all right? And you got all the bells and whistles, you got everything that you want, brand new, all right? It's gonna take you a long time to profit off that truck. You know what I'm saying? When you invest into a business, it don't matter what it is. It don't matter what it is. Whatever money you put into your business, you are not making any money until you made that money back. Okay? And this might be just me. I might sound crazy when I say this, but I don't understand how some guys, they'll buy a truck, right? They'll find out their cost per mile, right? They say their cost per mile is $1.70, $1.80 or whatever, all right? And they're driving and they're doing $2 a mile, $2.50 a mile, $3 a mile, whatever. That's what they averaging, right? And they'll sit there and say they just profited. They profit that way. They profit. How? How the fuck you just profit? You just dropped $100,000. You know what I'm saying? You are not profiting until you make that $100,000 back. All right? Now, let's look at what the typical truck makes over the road. Okay? The typical truck over the road grosses around 180,000 to 260. Now, if you're specialized, you may get more or whatever. But we're not talking about specialized. We're talking about general freight, general reefer, dry van, flatbed, shit like that. Just general freight. All right, you're going up gross between 180 to 180 like 230, 250. Let's say 250 max. All right. Okay, that's how much you grossed, all right? So if you gross that number, all right, and after all expenses, after fuel, insurance, tax, IFTA, driver's salary, because you got to pay yourself, remember this now, you got to pay yourself, blah, 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 yada, 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 all right? The most you can average net, bring it home into your business. Let's say you make 100,000 to 150,000, 170,000 if you really on your shit. You know what I'm saying? All right. So it will take you 12 months to make that money back. All right. It'll take you 12 months to make that money back. All right. So you say, well, that's good, Ma. I can make my money back in a year. I can make my money back in, say, 16 months, 18 months. I can make my money back in 2 years. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? All right. So say with that same $100,000, all right, I buy 3 trucks, 2 trucks, hell, just 1 truck for $20,000. All right, say I buy 1 truck for $20,000. All right, and I put this same $20,000 truck on the road. All right, you can still make that same money. You know what I'm saying? You make that same money. That same 180 to 250 gross. And that same, after everything done, 100,000, 130, 170 or something if you really own your shit, right? Tell me how somebody that dropped $100,000 on the truck and made their money back in a year, and they just made the money back, I mean, they just broke even in a year. All right? With my $20,000 truck, I profited way more than what you can in a year. You know what I'm saying? Now, people's going to be like, well, Ma, it's an old truck. It's going to break down. Okay. New trucks break down also. All right. I don't understand where the fuck y'all get this logic that it's a new truck, it's not going to break down. If that was the case, you wouldn't be walking inside Freightliner, Packard, Volvo, Mac, International, and walk in there and see new trucks being worked on. You know what I'm saying? If new trucks was the answer and new trucks was the ones that don't break down, you would not walk into a dealership and see a 2021 Freightliner being worked on. You just won't. All right? Now, let's say this new truck, let's say this old truck, this $20,000 truck breaks down. All right? Let's say this old truck breaks down. All right, cool. It breaks down. All right? The parts for that older truck is going to be cheaper. Okay? It's going to be cheaper. The labor is going to be cheaper because unlike a brand new truck, you don't really have to go to a dealership with this fucking truck. It is an old fucking truck. It don't have all that computer bullshit on it. Don't have that emissions bullshit on it. Don't have all that stupid ass sensors on it that can sit here and break your ass. All right? For instance, if I want to, all right, this is a 07 Classic, all right? I got an 06 C15 Caterpillar motor in it, okay? All right. I just replaced my pulley system in this motherfucker, right? Replace the pulley system. Got the pulley, new belts, whatever, right? I've done the work my fucking self with a fucking with a wrench and a sock. Damn, I can't even fucking think. With a socket set, a basic socket set. You know what I'm saying? The parts itself, I got it for like $200. The belts was like maybe $75. That's $275. All right. Just unbolt the pulley, slap the new pulley on there, tighten it back up, use the goddamn wrench. I mean the socket drive, loosen the tension on the damn tensioner, put new belts on there, bam, I'm gone. Ain't gotta time nothing, ain't gotta reset nothing, ain't gotta reset the computer, any of that shit, ain't gotta do none of that shit, right? Alright, let's say a new truck go through the same shit, and I've been through this shit before in 2018 with a Freightliner Cascadia. I've been through the same shit, alright? For me to not void that warranty, I cannot really work on that truck. I had a dealership work on that truck, or a certified technician. Example, TA or whatever dealerships that's certified to work on that truck, right? No matter how you look at it, you're gonna pay more to fix that newer truck because it's a newer truck. The parts are more expensive because it is a newer truck. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, all right, this old truck, it keeps breaking down. The motor blew up. All right, cool. You ain't gotta get no crate motor for this motherfucker. You can find you a motor in a fucking junkyard or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Slap it up in there. Or rebuild the bitch. Because even rebuilding them, even we gotta rebuild them, all right? It's still gonna be cheaper than a new truck. All right, for instance, a Detroit 14 liter, a Series 60 14 liter Detroit, all right? If you wanna rebuild it, I know in Savannah, you can get a rebuild between $8,000 to $14,000, all right? Get it, whole thing rebuilt, all right? A brand, a DD15, it's gonna cost you between $30,000 to $40,000. We're not gonna talk about Cummins. We ain't talking about fucking the Volvo engines, what is it, DD13, what the fuck Volvos have in them. It's gonna be around the same price range, $30,000 to $40,000. While the older truck cost between $8,000 and $14,000. All right. So let's say, all right, you got this old truck for $20,000. All right. The motor blow up on it. You probably had to replace the motor on it. That's $14,000. All right, so now you're at $34,000. Okay, you got $34,000 in this truck. All right, bim, your transmission go out in your older truck. The transmission go out. All right, you can get a Eaton Fuller, older model Eaton Fuller transmission rebuilt between $4,000 to $7,000. You know what I'm saying? Between $4,000 and $7,000. All right, so let's add. This is added high numbers. This has 7,000 to the 34,000. That's 41,000 that you put into this truck, right? This old truck that keeps breaking down. Everybody says it's old who keep breaking down. All right, you just put 41,000 into it. All right. What is the next major component? Rear ends, right? Which rear ends don't really go out like that. But let's say you gotta do rear ends. Let's just say your rear ends go out on you. You know what I'm saying? All right, your rear ends go out. You either get the gears redone or swap the rear ends out and put a gear where you actually want it at, or swap it out for a junkyard. You know what I'm saying? So let's say those rear ends run you about, let's say $5,000 to $7,000. All right. So now you have $48,000 for this truck. Matter of fact, we ain't gonna do used. We're gonna do new shit. So say you spend 10 grand on some new rear ends, front and rear, right? All right. So it's 10,000. So what we was at? 34, 41. So you spent 51,000 on this old truck. 51,000. All right. Now for 51,000, you got your motor rebuilt, your transmission rebuilt. You got new rear ends on this old truck, right? Now let me tell you something. When you rebuild shit and you get new parts and everything, they have warranties on them. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have a rebuilt engine, a rebuilt transmission, some brand new rear ends. With the cost of the truck, you got 51,000. Now everything has a warranty, all right? Now you may have little issues here and there. Just say drive shaft, the U joints or whatever, hub seals, whatever, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. All right? Let's say if every goddamn major part on this old truck fucking fails. Every goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna still be under. You're gonna be around $60,000. All right? 60 grand. Now, 60 grand your first year with this old truck, with everything, every major goddamn thing breaks down in this bitch, and you replace all this shit. Guess what? Now that old $20,000 truck is basically a brand new damn truck, and you still pay $40,000 less, $40,000 less, $60,000 less, $80,000 less, whatever less that this person paid for this brand new damn truck, right? And guess what? Everything you just bought got a warranty on it. It may not have no 300,000 miles, 200,000 miles, 450,000 miles, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But guess what? Every new goddamn thing you put in this old truck has a warranty on it. So guess what? Even if every goddamn thing breaks on your old truck, you are still making more money than the guy with the new truck, because he just dropped $100,000 $130,000, $150,000 on this brand new truck. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad business decision for a single owner operator to buy a brand new truck. It just does not make sense. It does not make sense at all. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how you try to break it down. It don't matter how you try to explain it. That shit does not matter. It does not make sense. Now, if you're a guy that, you know, like a mega carrier or some shit, mega carriers can do that because mega carriers got millions of dollars. They can do that. Quit trying to mimic what mega carriers do. You're not going to be well, I ain't going to sit here and say that, but the chance of you being a mega carrier is slim to none. You know what I'm saying? Those mega carriers been around since the fucking 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and shit. They've been around for decades. It took them decades to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion on it. And even like, hell, even after you got this old truck, all right, and the first year you took an OTR and you rebuilt everything on this old truck, and now you want to do regional shit, you want to do local shit, whatever, you can do that. Because your overhead cost is so much fucking lower. It is so much lower. There is no way you can break it down to me that could make sense to me that, hey, I can make more money than you with this brand new truck. No, you can't. No, you can't. You just drop $100,000 on this motherfucker. $100,000 or better on this shit. You have to make that $100,000 back before you even can say you profited. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something about new trucks. There's a reason why people say they don't make things like they used to. There is a reason. You cannot show me a missing truck, DD15, ISX, whatever, they got 1 million miles on it before it had to be rebuilt. It had to be built out to 400, 500,000. Bro, the fucking people that build the motor can't even, will tell you you're not gonna get 1 million miles out of this truck. The people that built the shit, they will tell you you're not gonna get 1 million miles out of this truck. All right? So if you got a Detroit 14 liter, you just rebuilt the motherfucker fuck it, bro, I'm losing my numbers now. From 9 to 14,000, all right? Using old genuine parts that was made for a 14 liter, all right? That 14 liter is gonna last you between 700,000 to 1 million miles. If you take care of it right, do oil changes right, you know, do your proper maintenance. You know, it don't matter what you drive, if you don't take care of it, it's gonna break down. But if you take care of this shit, that truck, that $14,000 investment you make to that motor is going to last you. You know what I'm saying? Explain to me how somebody with a new truck can make more money than me. Explain to me that shit. It's not smart, bro. It's not smart. So when you sitting there and you have your money stacked up, you got your priorities right, all the other bullshit, and you want to buy a truck, don't buy that new truck, bro. Do not buy that new truck. Don't matter how fucking much they try to make it seem like it's the better investment. Because it is not. It is not. You can't tell me it is. It's not. It's not. You're a one operation. You're a one truck pony, as everybody say, which is whatever. It's not gonna make sense. It's not gonna make sense. It's not gonna make sense. Now let me say you another aspect of it. All right. Now say you got this older truck, right? And you had this truck for like 5 years, right? You had this truck for 5 years. All together, you probably put under $65,000 for this truck. All right. So you've been profiting for 5 fucking years. 4.5 years because, you know, the first year you bought it, you gotta make your money back, right? So let's say you've been profiting for 4.5 years. And you want to get out of the truck, you want to take all that money you made and you want to invest it in something else. Guess what? You can still either break even or get more money out of that truck. You know what I'm saying? Say if you got the truck, you rebuild everything, you got it all repainted, you got the interior redid, all that shit like that. Let's say you get all this shit done. You got custom bumpers on it, custom visors, you got fenders on the bitch, you got all this shit done to your truck. You got a nice ass truck, a nice ass old truck, and you can probably pull up on and some show shit, right? Some show truck shit, right? Guess what? You did all that work to that truck and you still under 100,000. You still under 100,000. Now you got this old truck that's all done up and shit. Let's say you got $80,000 for this truck. You've been profiting 4.5 years for this truck. And at that 5-year mark, you want to take all that money you made, you want to invest into something else. Guess what? You could damn near get your money back for that truck. You don't get no 80,000. You don't get all the money you get back into it, but you can get goddamn close. You can get real close. Now let's say you buy a Cascadia for $120,000, all right? And you run that Cascadia for 5 years. After your 3rd year, your warranty gonna be out, right? Your warranty gonna be gone, right? You can still have this new truck, all right? Now the motor start going out on it, the one box, the emissions, shit like that. The one box alone is fucking $8,000. It's $12,000. That's alone. Your motor gotta be rebuilt. That's got them 30 to 40,000 right there. Your transmission might be the only one that holds up if you got a manual. You got an automatic. Let's see your automatic go out. All right, that's 15, 20 grand. Now, 5 years down the line, you pay this truck off or whatever. Well, let me stop. Stop. This cash trucks. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. This cash trucks. After 5 years now, you profit out this new truck you bought, and now you want to sell it. You ain't gonna get nowhere near the same amount as this old used truck that somebody done built up, got them like it's brand new again. You're not gonna get it. You're just not. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I feel like for gentlemen, ladies, or whatever, if you want to sit here and invest into this field, and you got your money together, you got your priorities and shit together, you got your business plan together, you got all this shit, you gonna do this shit to the motherfucking T, right? The first mistake you can do is buying a brand new 100,000 plus truck. That is the first mistake. Hell, that same $100,000, you can buy 3 goddamn trucks. You can buy 3 goddamn trucks. 3 of them. And you're gonna still make more money than the person with the one goddamn truck he made with 100,000. You're gonna make more money than him all day long. You can't explain, you cannot make this shit compute in my head for it to make sense. That's like, since everybody supposed to be quote unquote street niggas and shit or whatever, and everybody can rebuttal about this shit, I mean, explain it to me. Like somebody break down the numbers and be like, well look, if you do this, you buy a new truck, and you know, you spend this much money on it, and you know, I'm gonna make this much, and then you know, 4 years down the line, I'm gonna have this much money, and you know, 5 years down the line, I'm gonna have this much money, whatever. Break down the numbers. Break down the numbers. And I can show you some numbers that's gonna show you you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, it's your boy Marvin, this bitch, and I'm tuning out, man.
So when are y'all gonna wake up and start acting like what you think you are?
Man, I'm glad I kicked that drink shit. September 13th, I just rolled down, cold vibe, passport.